This video will be about 20 to 30 minutes long. You should not be watching this video unless you are done with the essay on pit bulls, because here we're going to be looking at student samples. Um, and I'm going to go over several student samples. The first one's going to be student A. I'll give you feedback on, or I'm going to go over the hook, overview, thesis statements, the topic sentence, evidence, explanations, counter arguments, rebuttal, and conclusion. And then, so I'll do that for student A, I'll do that for student B, I'll do that for student C, and then finally you will do that for student D. Um, so I will give you access to the article or to the essay, and you will have questions on what they did well and what can they have worked on, because there's things that they do need to work on. So let's start with student sample A. Student sample A, so the question was, should pit bulls be kept as pets, right? So the answer to that should be something like pit bulls should be kept as pets because whatever reasons you have, or pit bulls should not be kept as pets because whatever reasons you have. So student A, let's look at their hook. Their hook says, let me make this a little bigger. Their hook says there are 470 million dogs in the world, make up only 6% of the population of dogs in the United States. I'm really confused by this hook because I don't know what they mean by the 6%, right? There's 470 million dogs in the world, and then they say something about 6%. I'm not sure if that's pit bulls in the United States, so that's already confusing, okay? I don't know what is going on with this hook. People do not like to keep pit bulls because they say aggressive. Because they say they are aggressive, maybe. But they are like all other dogs. There should be a comma here. They are loyal and playful. Both pit bulls and other dogs are all good with kids, and they are also protected, but they are like all other dogs, loyal and playful. They are nice and cool dogs. Yes, they should be kept as pets. They help people with diseases. Okay. Um, if I was grading this will probably be like an S minus, just for if I was grading the intro. The hook is confusing. They do talk a little bit about the counter argument here, but it's kind of confusing. And their thesis statements is actually this part here. Um, but if you just look at that, it doesn't actually talk about pit bulls, right? Yes, they should be kept as pets. So this person should have said something like, pit bulls should be kept as pets because they help people with diseases. They help people with diseases. Um, you need two reasons. This person only has one. So you needed an and another reason. Okay? So if I was just grading on this, which I won't, but if I had to give this a grade, it'll be an S minus because of that. Let's look at the first body paragraph. So again, this is the intro. This is paragraph 1, hook, overview, and thesis. This is paragraph 2, but it's also known as the first body paragraph. So paragraph 2 says pit bulls should be kept as pets because I don't know where this person got that you can end a sentence with a because and then a period. I don't understand how this happens here. Right? It shouldn't happen. So what this person meant to say is pit bulls should be kept as pets because they are loyal. They are loyal. They have helped blind people who to wake up to wake to walk on sidewalks. I think that they meant. Okay, so this person could have said something like pit bulls should be kept as pets because they are helpful to people in need. Right? That's pretty much what they could have said. But instead they have this whole sentence that's really confusing. There's two sentences here, and this is a huge problem. That's a huge problem. Please don't do that. So there's topic sentences. Pit bulls should be kept as pets because they help people with disabilities, right? Um, and then they're gonna have their they are also in the millimeter to help. I think they meant military to help soldiers to help them find people. So the problem with this is that this person is talking about them being in the military, but they never focus on that here. They never focus on that on their thesis statement. So you can't start making up new information here if you haven't talked about it here. Okay? They can also help kids that are blind wake up around their houses, and the park can help kids with diseases be supportive pets because they are lonely. They love to swim, and if their owner loves them to swim, the pit bull will love them. So there is no evidence here. I don't know where the student got all this information from. It's really cool information, I think. It's like they're making a point, right? They help in the military. They help with kids, that are lonely with diseases. They help in the military. All great information. But you have to follow the structure of the essay. You have a topic sentence, you have evidence, and then you explain your evidence. There's no evidence whatsoever here. Let's look at this next paragraph. Okay, I really like what they did here. People should be kept as pets because they are playful. Now, the problem that I see with that is that doesn't appear here. If I look at this, if I look at this paragraph, if I look at this, it doesn't say that here. It kind of says it here, but that's not their thesis statement. So the problem is that this person is including information in their paragraphs that is not located in their claim or their thesis statement. They are also good with kids, but I think they already talked about that. Pit bulls love swim, run playing frisbee, and romp. There's an issue here. They they love to play with kids, like to be with kids, and they fun to play with. They are also so cute and fun, and they have a lot of energy. They love to go to the park and love to go on walks. There's this person will get an N for their grammar and punctuation because there's a lot of typos. There's a lot of mistakes with grammar. Um, I think I know what these words are. This is walks. Um, some people will say that. So there again, there's no evidence here. There's no evidence whatsoever. Some people will say that they are dangerous. Who's dangerous? Right? Like who are you talking about? And for this one, the counter argument should be something like some people some people will argue that pit bulls are not good pets because they are dangerous. But they like other dogs, they are good with kids. He keeps saying this. They are also good with many things. There's no evidence at all. There is no concession here. A concession is when you acknowledge the other side. People should be kept as pets because they're fun and so cute. So if I was grading this, just honestly, if I was grading this on for their structure, for the structure of their essay, they have a hook, not the best. They have a thesis statement that's it's okay. They have they do have 5 body paragraphs. This one doesn't really count because it's not a body paragraph. Um, for the structure, I will probably give them an S minus, and for the evidence and elaboration, they will get an N because there's none. Okay, it doesn't exist, and you're gonna see the comparisons between this student A and then student B and C. Let's look at student B. Pit bulls can make an excellent therapy dog. Okay, I like that. I like that hook. But you'll see that from the beginning, I can tell that this is going to be an issue, right? Because their paragraph, this is their intro. How is it possible that they have a hook, overview, and a thesis statement? It's just impossible. Like just looking at that paragraph. So that's already a thing that I've noticed, right? But I like their hook. This person said they are intelligent and do the same job as other dogs do. So this is their. It looks like this. It looks like this is their overview, but this looks more like another thesis statement. Pit bulls should shown I think the person meant should. People should be kept as pets because they are loving and trusted dogs. So that's their thesis statement. People should be kept as pets because they are loving and trusting dogs. Their thesis is actually pretty good, um, but they do have some issues with spelling. But the biggest issue I have with this paragraph is that it is so short. Like it's just not gonna happen. If you're as soon as I see this, I know there's gonna be an issue because it's just too short. So let's see what they have for their second body paragraph. Okay, so they just jumped into the source, right? And that's an issue because I communicated this to you guys. You need a topic sentence. And for student B, if you're reading this, your first topic sentence will be, if I can write here, first topic sentence will be pit bulls, pit bulls, pit bulls. I'm using a different stylus today because the other one, Alfie chewed it. Pit bulls should be kept as pets because, and then you're gonna have because they are loving. That'll be your first topic sentence, right? That'll be your first topic sentence. People should be kept as pets because they are loving. So if I had enough space, I would just write it there. And then you can jump into your evidence. You have to have a topic sentence because the reader needs to know what is it that what is paragraph 2 going to be about. This person doesn't have a topic sentence. They just don't. They just jumped into the source. In source, pit bulls, the bad inaccurate reputation, it states, aggressive dogs aren't born that way. Mean dogs frequently aren't properly trained or socialized as puppies. They also like to have been abused or starved well into adulthood. This doesn't prove that they are loving. It just says that dogs that are mean were trained to be mean. This evidence doesn't prove that pit bulls are loving dogs. So this evidence wouldn't work. Okay. So in their third paragraph, they have same problem, right? They just jumped into their evidence. This needs a topic sentence. Their topic sentence will be, again, pit bulls should be kept as pets because they are trusted dogs. Right? That will be your topic sentence for the third paragraph. And then you can go into the evidence. Now let's see what evidence they picked. What happened to America's dog? It states so we're trying to prove that they're trusted, right? Pit bulls can be trusted to watch over and protect young children. While parents went to work, or were not able to do it with their children. They even earned the name Nanny's dogs. Uh, I don't think there's really. I guess it's a decent evidence, and I think that something that students do sometimes is that they pick words from their evidence and they just include it in their thesis statement. And I would suggest that you don't do that because here, um, they just pick this word and put it in their thesis here. So I suggest you don't do that. This evidence is better than the first one, but it's okay. It's okay. The explanation is really really weak though. At last, pitbull sound to be. There's just a lot of mistakes with grammar, guys. It's really hard to read an essay when there's just a lot of like mistakes. At last, pit bulls sound be kept as pets. Should be kept as pets because they're well trusted. So this person is just repeating their thesis and the evidence, and that won't work. Let's look at their counter argument. On the other hand, some people may argue that pit bulls should be kept as should not be kept as pets because they are aggressive dogs and born to be like that. Also, pit bulls were responsible for 23% of dog bites and 30 Americans were killed. 37. So this is a good argument. I actually like this kind of argument they have here. They actually added like their kind of argument actually has some data, and let's see how they respond. That's a fair point. Again, typo. But most pit bulls that are aggressive were abused or starved, and some were not trained properly as puppies. Pit bulls are almost the most abused, neglected dogs. 33% of pit bulls are in shelters due to them being abused. So I like what they did there. They do have some elaboration, but I don't see any source, which is an issue. You have to have a source that or a piece of evidence that disproves this, right? I think that they do have some evidence here, but they just didn't cite it, which is an issue in itself. And let's see on their last paragraph. And that's it. They don't have, so they have their thesis statements, their intro. They have one, two. I see what they did here because this should be one paragraph. This should be paragraph 4. They don't have a conclusion. If I was grading this um for the structure of the essay, I will probably give it an S because it is missing the topic sentences. Um, their intro is way too short. There's no overview. It might even be an S minus because they're also missing the conclusion. Further evidence, I would give it an evidence will probably be an S or an S minus. Their first evidence is irrelevance. Their second evidence is relevance, but they didn't explain it, and they don't have evidence to disprove the counter argument. So this could be an S minus S minus. Okay. Let's look at sample C. Pit bulls are such unwanted and lonely animals. So much that there is only one in 600 chance that pit bulls find a lasting home. This is a great this is a great hook. Ever since dogfighting began, I think I wouldn't say began. I would just say began because I don't think that's a thing. Began. Criminals will utilize them to their benefit. They would illegally have a pit bull participate in underground fighting rings and use them for protection. Therefore, a pit bull will no longer be friendly, loving companion that lived in homes. However, it is evident that pit bulls should be kept as pets because they are determined and loyal animals. Let's see how this person proves that they are determined, and why is that a good argument for why that makes a good pet. For example, if I take my kid to the pound and I find a pit bull, I'm gonna say, oh yeah, let's take a pit bull because that pit bull is determined. Like, how does that prove that that makes a good pet, right? The second reason is a little better. But let's see how this person does that. So I like their hook. I think their overview could be a little better because they focus a lot on the abuse that these animals have. I think that they could have talked a little more about the history of the pit bull, what they looked like, what they were used for in the past, what their behaviors today. So let's look at their first topic sentence. So this is like, for example, if you look at these students, if you look at student B, this person does not have a topic sentence at all, right? The topic sentence, I'm gonna highlight it for you guys to know. The topic sentence is this one. So their thesis is that the pit bulls should be kept as pet because they're determined and loyal. So here, pit bulls should be kept as pets because they are hardworking animals. Now, I have a bit of an issue with this one because I don't know which of these it is. It should be this one. So I don't know if determined and hardworking means the same thing to this person. Maybe. Based on the article, Much Matter, What Happens to America's Dog, it states, he not only survived being wounded twice in combat, but saved his entire platoon by warning them of a poison gas attack. In this case, the he is referring to Sergeant Stubby, a pit bull so dedicated and hardworking that he even received an Army medal to acknowledge his efforts. How can one animal so small have such a large impact on so many people? It simply isn't easy to survive being injured, but Sergeant Stubby went further and took action to alert the soldiers. Even after being hurt, Sergeant Stubby persevered and continued to serve his purpose. I see what they did here. So they're really saying that they are helpful, right? I think that this person could have chosen different word choices, because they are saying here the evidence and the explanation focus on this animal, even though it was hurt, it's still able to do its mission. So I think that for this one is more like word choice. So just be careful with the word choice. I think you could have said something like they are helpful, right? They are useful for people, right? They can carry different tasks for people. Uh, that's the suggestion I will give this person or this student. So here's their second topic sentence. I love that they have a transition word. Furthermore, pit bulls should be kept as pets because they are loyal animals. Awesome. You see, this is this person's second reason, and then they have it here. Okay, so it should appear in both. Also, based on the article Must Matter, What Happened to America's Dog, it states, because of their loyalty and temperament, they even earned the nickname nanny dog, entrusted to watch over and protect young children in the house while parents worked on the farm. Pit bulls are extremely obedient because not only do they protect their owner, they protect the whole family. Some dogs cannot even behave themselves, but it is incredible that pit bulls can even protect children. They always put their tasks first and care so much about fulfilling their responsibilities. People Pit bulls know their duty and can handle much. I really like this paragraph. This paragraph is really awesome. Um, let's move on to the next one. One may argue that this is their counter argument, right? One may argue that pit bulls cannot be pets because they are more harmful and dangerous than other breeds. Awesome. This is a great counter argument because this person is saying that pit bulls should be should be kept as pets because they're good dogs. The counter argument says they're not. Don't forget, your counter argument needs to talk about that pit bulls should not be kept as pets, and then also the reason or reasons, right? You don't have to have evidence for the counter argument. You have to have evidence to disprove the counter argument, to weaken the counter argument. So let's see what this person did. So they have a great counter argument, and then here's their concession. That's where you acknowledge the other side. However, pit bulls only seem dangerous because people obtain such a prejudice and incorrect viewpoints. Based on the article, the media and the pit bulls, it states, despite the fact that other breeds of dogs can and do attack people, these incidents go unmentioned in the news, even at local level. This information is creating this false statistics. In reality, there were so many more harmful breeds that go unnoticed. This is amazing. I love this. This is a really, 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 really strong rebuttal. People have this idea that pit bulls are dangerous because the media, the news, tend to over-report it. You're not gonna see on the news that a Chihuahua attacked a person. You're not, because seriously, who want to watch that? Instead, people want to watch or people want to hear about these vicious animals, right? Pit bulls. You're not gonna hear of a Frenchie going crazy on at a party in San Francisco. You're just not, right? Instead, people overhear these statistics of pit bulls, and this person did a great job. Pit bulls should be kept as pets and stored in homes because they hold a lot of determination and loyalty. Again, suggestion for this person, I would just, if there was an issue with this essay, it would be that word choice, determination, and also the the overview would focus more on like the history of the pit bull and not so much on what they're being used to in crime areas. It is these traits that make pit bulls so loving and friendly. People should acknowledge this is like the wish for the world, right? People should acknowledge that pit bulls have a bias and incorrect reputation of being aggressive, but actually makes them excellent pets. This person did a great job. For the structure of the essay, I will give this person an S plus for the structure because of the overview. Um, and also because of the word choice determined. Further evidence, I will give it an M, and the explanation, evidence and explanation, I will give an M. because they did a really awesome job with the evidence and also the explanation. This person is really, 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 really strong with explaining their evidence. They just don't repeat it, right? They actually elaborate. They explain how does this evidence support the claim. Okay, so you will now be reading source D on your own. And as you read the article, I will have questions on Edpuzzle that ask you questions about what you read. This person, another thing, this issue with this one is this person did not have a title. This person did have a title. No, no title. This person had a title. So source D is why pit bulls are good pets. Um, when you do a title, this is just a little bit of feedback. When you do a title, these words need to be capitalized. So they capitalize the W, the P, good. They have to capitalize the A, the G, and the P. Okay. So again, this article is going to be in Classroom. All of them are in Classroom for you to read, and but you are going to be reading this one on your own and giving feedback to this person. And if you are student D, I hope that you can see what are some of the good things you did and some of the things that you need to work on. If you are student C, I hope that you recognize the good things you did and also the things you need to work on. If you are student B, I hope you recognize the things you did well and the things you need to work on. And if you're student A, the same thing, right? It's a 5 paragraph essay. There's things here that I like, but there's also things you need to work on. So again, when you finish this, please let me know and I will let you know what to do.